All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of our Madden 25 Connected Franchise Owner Mode Fantasy Draft Buffalo Bills Ralph Wilson YouTube series. Today, we have a date with the NFC East. The Philadelphia Eagles are coming to Buffalo to take on the 5-1 Bills. The Bills coming off their first loss ever on this series. Eagles coming to town at a 6-1 record. This will be the first time we've ever played a team with a better record than ourselves. And may it be said that we're going to do everything in our power to squish them like bugs underneath our feet. Why? Because Bills Nation is mad. That's why. Losing is not acceptable. And so we're going to try and take it to Philadelphia like there's no tomorrow. All right, so we're going to get started as soon as this is underway. As we updated last episode, we have a new injury from last game on Tuesday. Bruce Irvin, our starting right end, is hurt. Jason Hunter is going to be filling in there. Jason Hunter plays for the real-life Oakland Raiders. Originally went undrafted, is 31 years old. Started things off with the Packers in real life. Again, now in Oakland, actually starting for the Raiders. It appears to me, looking at this right now, we're going to kick, by the way, that number 3 there, starting for the Philadelphia Eagles. Interesting, could be, and sure enough, it is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson playing starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll have to corral him today. Let's quickly take a look at the depth chart of these Eagles. Again, 6-1, very impressive record. We're looking to knock him off. Russell Wilson, 86 speed. I have a lot of experience with Russell Wilson personally because I play as him online. Now, he's coming in here on a cold streak. However, if our defense isn't able to step things up, we're going to get dominated today by this cat. So we have to play as well as we possibly can. C.J. Spiller is injured as the starting running back of these Eagles. And so a rookie, Rashawn Lunsford, just 81 speed, 79 overall, 219 pounds, 70 strength. Impressive acceleration and agility, though, for a big man. We'll see how he plays today. Again, rookie in for the injured C.J. Spiller. The fullback is Kwabena Umaru. He's another rookie, so a full rookie backfield there. Mike Wallace, Percy Harvin, the two top wide receivers for this Philadelphia Eagles team. Crazy speed on both of those guys, as well as Anthony Armstrong in the slot. Aurelius Ben is going to be there as well. So we have there's not a lot of size in this receiving core for the Eagles. However, there's a lot of speed. We'll have to watch that. Kellen Winslow, the starting tight end, as well as Tony Milwaukee, I believe of the real life Kansas City Chiefs. Both 80 overall, but both with decent speed for big men. Neither of them are huge for tight end, 6'4", 6'3", but still a good balance of speed and size there. Teron Armstead, the second-year man, playing left tackle. Josh Sitton, a dominant left guard there. Ryan Khalil, 88 at the center spot. Chance Warmack, 90 at the center spot. So a big group of talented guards here. And then Eric Winston at the right tackle spot, 88. So a solid offensive line for these Eagles. B.J. Raji, number 86, is there. The right end, now Alan Branch would be the starter. He's hurt. Sylvester Williams is going to be there. Our nose tackle is Terrence Cody, a fourth-year man, 6'4", 249. Yeah, those are nose tackle numbers. Nick Perry, outside linebacker. The middle linebackers are Desmond Bishop, Bart Scott. Neither of them with huge speed, 78 and 75. Hopefully we can take advantage of that. Brian Arakpo is the other outside linebacker. He's dominant, 94 overall. Our corners are Brent Grimes and Aqib Talib, of course, of the real-life New England Patriots. None of them with great speed, but with Talib with decent size, 6'1", 205. The rest of these guys, Davion Scott, Tony Carter, Brandon Burton. The safeties, Glover Quinn, 87 overall. Louis Delmas, 93 overall. Kicker is Sean Swisham, and the punter is Kevin Huber. So we'll see how this game goes. A lot of talent on this Eagles squad, particularly at the on the offensive side of the ball. This is a team with, I wouldn't call this a great defense. They have a couple nice pieces particularly on the defensive line. A couple of solid starting corners. However, not a ton of talent on the defensive side of the ball. The offensive side of the ball, though, looks to be dominant. Just speed everywhere. Speed at the wide receiver spot. Speed at the quarterback spot. Not a ton of speed where you'd actually expect to see it in the backfield. But, hey, that's more than made up for by the amount of speed they got elsewhere. And here, John Bostic gets to the corner just around the edge, not before Armstrong takes the quick slot screen and takes it for a 10-yard gain up to the 36-yard line, a gain of 11, actually, around the left side. So a quick start for these Eagles here. Very quick throw out from Russell Wilson's hand. Now, we talked about this past episode trying to put more pressure on the opposing QB. It's going to be dangerous to do so there's a forced fumble. Vince Wilfork's on it for the Buffalo Bills. He's touched and he's down, but not before we get a fumble coming our way after 2 straight weeks of costly fumbles in our opponent's red zone. This time, our defense comes up big. We sent 3 on the blitz. A great play call against a draw such as this. Bada bing, bada boom. John Bostic finally making plays like we've always wanted him to. Lights up the rookie running back. Welcome to the NFL, buddy boy. And he just drops it. What a great start to this one. We're just going to back up a little more. That is without a doubt our thumbnail for this game, barring something crazy happening. Just 29 seconds in, we get the turnover, and that is huge, folks. I cannot overstate how important I think turnovers are. I think they play such a huge role in football at the professional level, at the junior level, and in video games. They make such a huge impact on the game, particularly when your opening drive turns out to be a turnover in your own end. Huge start for us. 2nd and 5 coming up after that completion to Ryan Williams coming out of the backfield. Here we're going to have Doug Baldwin and Mario Manningham coming right over the middle. In double drag routes, we're going to hit Doug Baldwin on a nice catch. He was in coverage there. Looked to be Aqib Talib, but Baldwin shows off his speed across the middle. 7-yard reception for him. And guess what? We are now in the red zone, folks. 17-yard line. We're going to put the ball on the ground for the first time this game. Now, we do seem to have a lot of these Eagles pinching up. We're going to change this to the right side. Here we have an extra blocker on this side. Eric Baldwin gets a nice block, seals the edge. Ryan Williams got some room around the outside. Nice run for him, 9 yards, setting up 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1, I got to say. I'd almost rather be in 2nd and 1 than 1st and 10. I just think 2nd and 1 is the best place to be because you essentially get a free play on 2nd down to do whatever you want. There's no pressure to even gain positive yardage. And then 3rd down, if you want to be conservative, you just run it quickly again, get the 1st down. But you don't even have to do that. You can keep playing it here in the end zone. Mario Manningham, touchdown. Manningham comes back to the ball, working against the Eagles' top corner, whose name escapes me for the moment being because there's too many names to keep track of when it comes to our opponents. And there is Chip Kelly realizing that his team is down quick, 7-0 to this Buffalo Bills team that is hungry as hell, coming off their first loss in 2 years. Manningham, 1 catch, 8 yards, 1 touchdown. Beautiful. And with that, we will kick off again to these Eagles. This time, Greg the Leg gets a little more leg on it, and that's going to be about halfway down the end zone. We'll see what happens. Sure enough, the returner takes the knee, and so Russell Wilson will come out at his own 20-yard line again, leading the way for these Eagles. And hopefully for their sake, they keep this ball in the air because on the ground, they just got lit up, folks. Lit up, which I personally love. With that being said, here's Mike Wallace to the left, Percy Harvin on the right, Winslow lined up in the tight end spot, and there's a pitch out to the right side. Sanford there, and he's there. Beautiful play to take him down with Shamarko Thomas, both safeties right there to make the play. There you can see the talented Philadelphia Eagle offensive line. A lot of skill there, really loaded across the board. 2 great wide receivers, and here, look at this. 5 receiver set on 2nd and 8. Nobody in the backfield. Our defensive line is crashing from left to right. And the Russell Wilson looked like he was getting ready to go on the read option there. Instead, throws it away, and still on his feet is Ben for a 28-yard gain. Russell Wilson brings the man back in the option in a quick zig route. Wow, a nice play for Ben. Nicely orchestrated play for the Eagles. And, hey, not much we can do against that. Here we're going to spread out, go edge rush with our 4 down linemen, 3 wide receivers to the right side, Lunsford in the backfield. That's going to be a running theme for today, is a nice play by Bostic coming up to stop the running back for no gain, little to no gain. Right at midfield, 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Eagles after that play that went for nothing. 1-2-2 coming out here for the Eagles. We're going to go silver shoot pinch, so sending some pressure, sending 6, dropping back 5 in man. This is another play with and I'm very, very familiar, trust me, with running the read option play, especially with Russell Wilson here. Oh, and Lunsford throws off Jamarcus Sanford. Sanford, we read the play perfectly, had our hands on Lunsford, could have stopped him for just about a 4-yard gain. There you go. You see the hit at about the 46-yard line. Instead, Lunsford knocks off Sanford like yesterday's socks. Lunsford rumbles for 13, and now the Eagles are in field goal range. And again, we see this formation. Lunsford right beside Wilson, who's in shotgun, and they just a draw play this time. This time, Sanford gets caught in the middle, makes the tackle, but not before Lunsford goes for 6. As I was saying, Russell Wilson, we have to watch him every single one of those plays. Particularly when he's in the shotgun with the running back lineup right beside him or even a little behind him. Oftentimes those plays are going to end up being, depending, with that said, they could potentially be the read option plays. And here Lunsford bounces it outside, doesn't quite get the first down, setting up 3rd and inches. We'll see what the Eagles do here. They're running a lot of plays out of the shotgun with the handoffs, not putting the ball in the air that much. Now, they're running 104 this time, so 4 receivers. We're actually going to cheat a little bit. I don't know if I trust them a whole bunch. I smell a read option on this play. We're going to pinch. We're going to show a blitz. We don't know. It's not a run. They're going to give it to Ben, and that was our man. Ben runs over Shamarko Thomas after making the catch. So, hey, give the Eagles credit. They put the ball in the air on 3rd and inches, and Ben makes a nice catch at the sideline. Sanford, Ben was so close to the wide receiver who was lined up beside him. We actually almost covered both of them with one guy. Unfortunately, though, Ben comes free at the sidelines, and as the first quarter is about to expire, the score is 7-0, but the Eagles are pressing. Sure enough, they don't get the ball off, but they are 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line of the Bills. The Bills looking a little more solid on defense than they did last week. Got some nice pressure on the first drive. However, since then, Russell Wilson's done a good job of getting the ball out quickly. And with that being said, the Eagles just doing a nice job of breaking tackles. Lunsford, the running back, broke a really nice one very early on in this possession. Here we go. Jason Worlds gets a chance, does manage to wrap up Lunsford. Lunsford, if he had more speed, would have been gone. We lost all contain on the outside there. Worlds makes a nice play to come over, make the play. Not before, though. Lunsford gets 6 yards. We're just thankful that he's not the fastest player in the world, because, again, if he had a little more speed, he would have been gone on that play around the outside. Harvin Walsh to the right, Winslow and Mayoki to the left, and this time Worlds wraps him up again. 2 straight tackles for Worlds. Hunter in on that one as well, doing a nice job with the run support. 3rd and 2 coming up. And barring something crazy coming from the Eagles here, I think we're going to stay in goal line formation. 1-1-3 coming up. Let's go ahead. Let's do that. We got 3 wide receivers. Let's take Shamarko Thomas is going to have to take Ben and man. That's okay. We're going to control him, give him some help. Ben crashes way inside. We moves, but and how does Justin Durant drop that? Justin Durant, John Bostic stayed in. The ball was thrown right at Durant. We moved the wrong way with Shamarko Thomas in man coverage. However, Justin Durant has the ball, literally hit his mitts, fails to bring it in. So a bad play in that it doesn't end up with an interception. However, a nice play in that it stops the Eagles' drive deep in the red zone. 4th and 2. Brandon Whedon into hold, and the kick is good from Sean Swisham. So the Eagles get on the board, but not before the Buffalo Bills took the ball away, finished a 30-yard drive to score, which sets us up nicely. And there's nothing better than being in the lead with the football, and that is about what we are about to position we are about to be in. Here, Jacoby Ford is going to get a chance to go on the left side. Nothing doing. Does get the ball up to the 20-yard line, but just not a lot of opportunities for him there. So the Buffalo Bills come out 80 yards to go down the field. Fortunately, my voice has been in better shape the last couple episodes, though I can feel it starting to give out again. I hope it doesn't, because as these videos go on, they're hard on the voice, because I do speak quite loudly into my microphone, again, trying to get you guys the best sound quality possible. Here we go. Ryan Williams, can he run away from the defender? He gets up to the 22-yard line, so a 2-yard gain for the Bills. We should have had Basman Hooker in on that play. He could have done a little more with that football, just with a little more speed. Ryan Williams, though, still gets some positive yardage out of that screen play. Had a man hot on his tail. That would have been Perry, one of the middle linebackers, I believe, of these Eagles. Here we're going to put the ball in the air. Eric Baldwin, though we don't want to target it. And sure enough, Eric Baldwin doesn't come open, but Doug Baldwin does over the middle. Doug Baldwin with his second catch of the game. That goes for a first down up to the 34-yard line. As I was saying, Eric Baldwin without a catch so far today. However, he was well covered on that play. We managed to quickly get it into Doug Baldwin, though, who makes a nice catch, his second of the day. Eric Baldwin had an absolute letter day, red letter day, that is, last game. And an awful throw there from Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers really off on that one, looking for Deshaun Jackson. Aaron Rodgers throws about one bad ball every 4 games. We'll just say that's his bad ball for the second quadrant of the season. I think he had one in the first couple games. Hasn't had one since. That one, admittedly, was pretty darn bad, especially considering that he had Deshaun wide open over the middle of the field. Here, Eric Baldwin crashes out. We're going to roll out, and Aaron Rodgers gets a little bit of room to run, but he set us up 3rd and 8. Nobody comes away open on that one. 3rd and 8. We need to convert here. 3:36 left in the second quarter. I would love nothing more than to convert here and just slow play the rest of the drive, score a touchdown with zeros on the clock, and receive the opening kickoff of the second half, already up by 11 points. Here, Deshaun Jackson, long, and can he stay in bounds? He doesn't. Deshaun Jackson came open, but not before he goes out of bounds as he brings the ball down. And I'm wondering if it's worth challenging that if we have the option of doing so. I don't think he stayed in bounds, but I think it's worth it. Let's go ahead. Let's challenge. And the ruling on the field is upheld. So we lose a timeout, but at least we know for sure we're going to have to punt this one away, unfortunately, on 4th and 8. Deep in our own territory. Too much of a mess to try and go for it, I think. And unfortunately for us, this is what happens when you throw inaccurate passes. First down for us was a success in every way, shape, and form except for the delivery of the football. Aaron Rodgers costing us that one, unfortunately. So here we go. Buffalo Bills defense back onto the field. They've done well so far today. They gave up a big drive this past time around, but still giving up 3 points in two possessions to a high-powered offense. Given how dominant our offense has been, we'll take that. After all, in 2 possessions, our offense has put up 7, more than double the Eagles' output. With that being said, however, we're setting a lot of pressure on this play. Well, hopefully, and they are giving it to Lunsford, and a nice play by Thaddeus Gibson. Gibson was trailing the play, managed to catch up to Lunsford and knock him down before he was able to get away with the football around the left side on a bit of a misdirection play. We sent a lot of heat on that play, didn't get contained. Fortunately, Gibson bails out the rest of the team, does a nice job there. Here, Lunsford alone, running back in. 4 receivers now. Russell Wilson is going to throw it, and he's going to go back to Percy Harvin, who's crawling way back up the field. And that actually results in a loss. Percy Harvin caught the ball about 5 yards upfield, working on Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, but his momentum brought him way back to the original line of scrimmage. And so with 2:33 left, the Eagles are going to send out 4 wide receivers. We're going to send out, just a base dime formation, bring everybody back, not sending any pressure. Lunsford, the only guy in the backfield. Bostic and man coverage on him. He goes out for the... Jamarcus Sanford pulls too far up, and Ben makes the diving catch. Ben didn't have the speed. Again, these slots for the Philadelphia Eagles don't have a lot of speed. However, Ben managed to blow by Dre Kirkpatrick and make that catch by diving for it like a wild man. We got to watch ourselves. I'm so paranoid again about that read option play that I know firsthand, again, Russell Wilson can play so well. And there it costs us big time. Sanford pinches too far, can't turn around, and Ben burns us going long. Here, Lunsford again in the shotgun. We're going to have to pull Sanford back a little bit. This time, Sanford easily back, and Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie can't get up the field to make that play, and somehow that play was a catch, while earlier Deshaun Jackson couldn't stay in bounds. Let's watch this play again. That looked to me like that was 1 foot, not 2. But I don't want to challenge it. I don't think I'd have to challenge it given that there's less than 2 minutes left in the half. But we're going to go quarter right now because the Eagles sending out 5 wide receivers this time. Our 5 men in coverage will be our normal 5 with the addition of Chris Connie pinching up to play the strong safety part. Shamarko Thomas sitting in. And, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie makes the pick. Russell Wilson looks to the wrong side, and Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie just brings it out to the 1. Probably should have stayed in the end zone. Well, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie gets an opportunity to run in the open field. You take it because he's got such great speed. A great job there. Russell Wilson really trying to force that one in. It looked like not to Percy Harvin. Actually, I'm not quite sure who that was to. But a nice play there by Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie pulling that in. Normally that's Percy Harvin's spot. At least it's been where he's been lining up so far. But with that being said, great play all around. Now Ryan Wilson gets enveloped by the nose tackle right at the 1 yard line, and so we're not going to be able to advance the ball anywhere past that. We brought out the run game in the hopes that we could just get out from the shadow of our own goalposts. That's not going to be the case. We're going to have to try and go to the air now. The clock is running, 1:30 left in the half. I'm almost tempted to just let this clock expire. And Eric Baldwin with the drop there takes a hit over the middle. And so the pressure's on now. I would really like to get a first down, even just to control the football and let the clock expire from this first half. I really don't want to punt from this deep in our own end. There, Eric Baldwin had a great toss, but just couldn't take the hit that followed it, which is a real shame. We've had a poor pass from Aaron Rodgers, then Deshaun Jackson just not able to keep his feet in bounds, and now Eric Baldwin drops that one. Costly mistakes and just stupid errors. Here, Deshaun Jackson manages to stay inbounds. He makes the catch. Aaron Rodgers delivers a nice ball, and our passing game is back on. And you know what? I would like to drive the field if we can. I don't want to make any rash decisions again, especially being this deep in our own end. We don't want to risk a turnover. We are winning the turnover battle 2-0 at this point. Getting a pick, getting a fumble recovery. I don't want to risk anything. Eric Baldwin, speaking of not wanting to risk anything, Eric Baldwin found what I thought was a hole in the zone. Instead, the corner pinched way, way, way back. And fortunately for us, he pulled a Justin Durant, wasn't able to bring the ball in. And so, again, as I've said, as much as we want to score before the half, or at least try to put ourselves in a position to score, we cannot risk another one of those plays. Here, Deshaun Jackson comes open at the sideline again, but for the second time this game, not able to stay in bounds. Foolish. Granted, that one was a little closer. Probably was nothing you could do about it. The first one, I'm still going to hold that against him, though. 1:13 left in the half now, and we just need a first. Same thing as last time. We just need a first down here to keep the clock, to keep the ball in our possession, keep the clock moving, and just not allow an opportunity. And Darren Sproles is in the game? What? Darren Sproles in the game, folks. I had no idea Darren Sproles was healthy until right now. Well, he is back in the game, and he's going over the top, and he's going to come wide open behind coverage. He makes like a big man, brings the ball in. And wow, Darren Sproles healthy, back early. Now, last episode we checked on his health. It said he would be back and healthy in 1 week. Now, I suppose I didn't realize that was going to be after we advanced weeks. I should have put that together, but he must be back faster than before. I believe he was supposed to be out 8 weeks originally. This would be the 8th week of his injury. However, he's back, and how exciting is that? Darren Sproles, granted, Basman Hooker's been excellent in wake of Darren Sproles on the screen passes and those receiving type plays, but wow, Darren Sproles in there on third down as the third down back in for Ryan Williams, and And wow, he breaks out, shows off his speed. And when Darren Sproles, let's get real here, when Darren Sproles is in coverage against a linebacker, we all know who's going to win that battle every single time. That's Darren freaking Sproles. So Darren Sproles, credit to having him back. Did not expect to see him, but I'm happy to see him there. Deshaun Jackson makes a nice catch up the sidelines. Gets out of, and they're calling it what? Nothing? They're calling that an incompletion? He had like 4 steps before he went out of bounds. Are you kidding me? Can we challenge that one? This will be the 3rd time that, and no, they're not letting us challenge it. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Freaking believable. So it's 2nd and 10 now after what was a completion to Deshaun Jackson. Let's check that one up the sidelines again. Maybe he was bobbling the ball and we just don't know, but look at this. He catches the ball right there, gets 1, 2, 3, 4 steps in bounds with the ball in his hand, and it's not considered not considered a completion. It's incomplete according to the referees. Unbelievably bad call. Meanwhile, though, Eric Baldwin comes open because the safety's on the blitz, and Eric Baldwin manages to bring the ball down to the 27-yard line of the Eagles. We're going to call a quick play here because we don't want to we cannot stop the clock unless we cough up our last timeout. Eric Baldwin catches the ball, and he will hopefully end up out of bounds. That was the plan, and fortunately for us, he does. So he stops the clock with 40 seconds left, 2nd and 6 coming up. We are at the 23-yard line of the Eagles, so we are now in easy field goal range. Eric Baldwin making a nice catch in the seam to set us up here after Deshaun Jackson had an obvious catch called back for no apparent reason. Maybe it's because he's black. I don't know. Refs are horrible racists. Come on, referees. 2014. Anyways, Doug Baldwin makes a nice catch over the middle, and we will call a timeout with 34 seconds left. And we're going to have a solid 3 cracks here from the 11-yard line. We can get a first down without scoring. With that being the case, though, I would still like to get into the end zone because, again, we cannot stop the clock. So Eric Baldwin in the – no, big blitz coming here. Eric Baldwin makes the catch deep at the 4-yard line. We're going to call a quick get to the ball type of play. With 20 seconds left, boom, we're able to get the ball off, and Aaron Rodgers just throws it away. Huge pressure coming off our left, their right side. A man came completely free, so we stop the clock at the 4-yard line. 3rd and 3. Again, we can get a first down without scoring. The only issue is if we're not able to stop the clock, i.e. get out of bounds, then we're kind of screwed. Because the clock will keep running, and who knows if we can get off another play. The plan here is to hopefully just get the ball off nice and quickly. We'll have Deshaun Jackson run a curl in the end zone. Eric Baldwin running the quick out. Now then we're going to come free, but no, Aaron Rodgers gets in, comes wide open, and Aaron Rodgers playing against the quarterback who does it almost better than anybody else, shows off his own speed. Gets into the end zone. This game is 14-3, and it will be, barring a quick score by the Eagles, going into the half. 13 seconds left. What a drive. The Buffalo Bills drive an impressive 99 yards on that one after the Philadelphia Eagles get intercepted in the red zone by Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. Very impressive. Greg the Leg, we're going to do another short kick here. Just to the our left side, their right. And hopefully that comes deep. Perfect. Right in the corner. Weems is going to have a chance to return it. But Gino Castro is there to make the tackle. And what I love about those plays is, as you can see, we got that one a little deeper in the corner. 6 seconds came out. Or pardon me. Actually, that would have been a very impressive 8 seconds from 17 to 9. 8 seconds roll off the clock, which really lessens what the Eagles can. No, sorry, we're not 17 seconds. We were at 13 seconds. My apologies. But still, 4 seconds run off the clock, and at this point of the game, 14 seconds is 4 seconds. I cannot think today. Apparently, 4 seconds is a huge amount of time. So Lunsford in the backfield, Winslow to the left. They're just going to give it to Lunsford, who's going to get hit by Chris Connie, held up. And with 5 seconds left, the Eagles call a timeout for some reason. Maybe they want to throw a Hail Mary, despite the fact that they are 64 yards away from the end zone. Sure enough, they're sending out 4 wide receivers. Now, to the Eagles' credit, they do have a lot of receivers with crazy speed, namely Mike Wallace and Percy Harvin. But with that said, I don't think that this is going to work, given that Hail Marys never work. And sure enough, Jason Hunter gets in there, knocks the ball away. Jason Hunter making some noise this first half, replacing the injured Bruce Irvin. More importantly, however, we have, and actually look at that, considering that was, it looked to be a sack from Jason Hunter, actually because the ball was incomplete, it did leave Russell Wilson's hand. The half is not done. Russell Wilson and company going to get another chance to throw it up. They do, and Vontae Davis comes down with the interception. Not that it means anything, but it's a nice way to pad the stats, Vontae. You don't want to fall too far behind Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. And so the Buffalo Bills defense comes out in the first half after getting embarrassed last week, allows just 3 points from a very formidable Philadelphia Eagles offense. The Eagles with 3 turnovers, all forced in this first half. 2 Russell Wilson interceptions and a fumble recovered by Vince Wilfork. Very impressive. That one forced by John Bostic. Jacoby Ford will return this football to start off the second half. He gets enveloped at the 22-yard line. Not a lot of room for him to work with on the right side. And so we're going to kick things off here in the second half. We're going to try and really play this half slow. And that is by running the football, giving Ryan Williams a chance to chew up some yards, chew up the clock. Williams has been pretty effective in today's game, and most importantly has not fumbled the football away even once. Here Eric Wood gets beaten by Cody, the nose tackle, again, and he wraps up Ryan Williams for a gain of just 2 yards. On this next play, I think we're going to go ahead and, we are going to go ahead and bring in Basman Hooker, our kind of new speed back. We will get Darren Sproles into this game, I promise you. He was not in the game plan because, again, I had no idea he was returning. However, we'll try and get Basman Hooker to get around this defense, and he is going to get around the end, puts his head down and gets the first down, a 9-yard rush off the right side, and that sets up a first down. At the 32-yard line of the Bills will keep Basman into the game at this point. We're going to go ahead, given that it's first down, we're going to let Hooker run the and actually, you know what? Hooker's already in on this play. Let's let this be a bit of a nostalgic play here. We're going to get Darren Sproles into the game. He's going to run the counter play on the Wildcat. This play has not worked for us sometimes in the past, but when it does and the runner is able to break contain on the defense, they go for big yardage. And here, Darren Sproles not able to get around. He fumbles the football. Quinn picks it up, and Darren Sproles, who has just about the best carrying ability of anyone in the entire National Football League, on that Wildcat play, on the cutback, drops the ball. And we're going to wait and see this replay. And sure enough, there's no way that's not out. Darren Sproles, a hugely costly play. This is the 3rd straight game in which a Buffalo Bills running back has coughed up the ball at a totally inappropriate time. Not that there's ever an appropriate time to cough up the football. Let's get real here. But Darren Sproles, I believe, has a 98 carrying ability. A running back who almost never fumbles. That was one of the reasons that I was attracted to him, or to selecting him in the fantasy draft, was we have, he's a scat back, but he's not like a lot of scat backs in that he puts the ball on the ground a lot. He's got speed, he's got talent, he's got catching ability, and he's great with the ball. Unfortunately here, though, not the case. Sets up the Eagles deep in Bills territory. They're a nice toss to Ben. Again, Ben just in coverage against Sanford and company, who are not able to do the deed. Kirkpatrick not able. Those two guys both lacking speed, and that is why we're kind of looking right now at potentially drafting a free safety. Again, Chris Connie behind. Sanford has some more speed, but we're not 100% sure about him. Anyways, here, Lunsford inside, and he's wrapped up by Vince Wilfork. Thrown back for a loss. 4th and inches coming up, and we'll see what the Eagles decide to do. Vince Wilfork showing why he eats your lunch, eats your breakfast, and ruins your life. Sure enough, the Eagles too afraid to go up against Vince Wilfork and company again on the D-line. They're going to try and kick a field goal here. Sean Swisham into the game. From 41 yards out, he is up, and he is good. And so Unfortunately, the Buffalo Bills cough up the football again, and the Eagles pick it up. But on the good side of things, the Buffalo Bills maintain their lead by 8 points, and our defense steps up again. Let's also give them credit. It's now 5 possessions and 6 points for our Buffalo Bills defense / Philadelphia Eagles offense, and that is to be commended. At this point, last episode, our defense had actually given up 375 points to the Patriots, which I know doesn't, maybe it wasn't actually that much, but it certainly seems like that much. Meanwhile, Jacoby Ford comes up holding looks to be his rib cage. That's unfortunate, particularly given that he was hurt earlier this year. Here, Doug Baldwin, the ball hits his hands. He actually looked like he was interfered with going for the ball, somehow managed to still get there, but then promptly dropped it right after picking it up. That's too bad. 3:08 left in the third quarter. We're going to have to go, and I think we're going to put the ball on the ground here. Let's go ahead, stay in the strong, and actually, let's go slip screen. We got Basman Hooker in for this particular formation. Hopefully the Eagles sending pressure. They do. They send a bit of a blitz, and Basman Hooker, a missed block there. That looks to be Eric Wood, the center, costing us again. Come on. His man just beat him cleanly, and the man envelops Hooker. As you can see on this play, Hooker comes free, and man, Basman Hooker, had that one player not been there, Eric Wood, you'll see him miss the block right here. Goes deep, and Grimes jumps over him. Come on, Eric Wood. You got to be more athletic. Get out there, make the play. Unfortunate stuff there. Meanwhile, Darren Sproles is into the game as a third down back. We'll see if we want to go to him on this play, and if we do, if he can hold on to the freaking ball. Sure enough, he makes the catch, gets the first down, and fortunately, he has demonstrated now that he can hold on to the football. Nice play there. And to give Darren Sproles credit, he did make a phenomenal first play in this game, making the long catch for a first down. Jacoby Ford has back spasms. He will return soon. We're going to go ahead. We're going to substitute Gino Castro for him. Just limit the amount of snaps Ford might have to take. Ford is not really a big part of our offense at this point. However, this will keep him fresh and let him, barring another return opportunity, will let him heal up a bit. Here's John Kuhn, lead block, and unfortunately Eric Baldwin got off his man. Perry with the tackle. All of a sudden, we're struggling to run this football. Our blocker's kind of letting us down here, unfortunately. 1:49 left in the third. We're going to go to the gun, I think, on 2nd and 9. And just a quick hitter flanker dig. I'd love to hit Deshaun Jackson in the slot really quickly here. He looks to be in coverage on a linebacker, unless I'm reading that completely wrong. And instead, we're going to go to Ryan Williams, and he dodges a tackle. Nice little spin move. That's a gain of 4 yards. That was a bit of a risky play. Looked to be that the man in coverage there had a chance at that football. Fortunately, Ryan Williams comes up with it. Yeah, the defender, if they really put on the afterburners, maybe could have undercut that route. But Aaron Rodgers did put some mustard on that ball, so not much of a worry there, I suppose. Looked a lot closer live action, let's just say that. And here we're going, looking for Eric Baldwin potentially underneath. Instead, Deshaun Jackson comes open, and he takes approximately 8 steps before going out of bounds. And this time, those 8 steps prove to be enough, and the referees call it a completion, which is wonderful. Deshaun Jackson making the nice catch. Just his second of the game, which is disappointing. He made 3 more that were all close to the sideline, one of which we challenged because it was close. It was called an incompletion, one of which was probably a legitimate incompletion, another one of which was what I thought was an obvious completion and just called an incompletion for some unknown reason. So there, even though in my book he's made 3 or 4 catches, that was his second one, and it goes for a first down. Here he's open again off the right side, off play action, works his way up the field after the catch. That's a 14 yards after catch maneuver, and that goes for another first down at the 27-yard line of the Eagles, and we're just going to let this clock expire. You know what? Let's call a run play just in case we want to change our minds, but I think we can let this clock expire and just come out here, because this doesn't really look like it just looks like a base 3-4. Doesn't really favor us in any way. Let's just let this third quarter expire. We're on to the fourth quarter, up by 8 points and deep in Eagle territory, provided we can keep the ball on the ground and move it. We haven't moved it very well. We initially, I thought, moved the ball on the ground really well. since then, especially this past quarter, not as well. Maybe it's because the Eagles are just looking for the run more, especially with our lead and everything. But here we're going to give it to Ryan Williams off the right side, and he's got some room. Bounces back really nicely and gets up through the middle. That's a 7-yard gain for him. Just 5 carries for 19 yards in today's game for Williams. That's only 5 rushes. I find that hard to believe. I feel like I've been feeding him the rock a lot more, but then again, I guess the game is the more reliable source, not me. Here we'll go ISO right up the gut. Just again, keeping the clock moving by running the football. This time we'll go to the left side. We have one fewer blocker on that side, but I like the gap, and sure enough, Williams is going to be able to hit it for a nice gain. Not sure if that's a first down, but even if it's not a first down, that's not the end of the world. Might actually be nice. And there you go, 3rd and inches. We're going to go goal line formation. Give him another shot at this one. We have 2 cracks to convert on 3rd and inches. I'm always confident that we can do it. We're just going to let this clock run again. Just 4:50 left in the game. We're going to let the play clock just keep ticking down until it gets to about the 5-second mark. And here we go, 5 seconds, and perfect. Easy carry for Ryan Williams. He gets 7 yards off the right side, pardon me. Very easy carry. The line parted like the Red Sea. Credit Luis Vasquez, the right guard. We always like to run up his gap on those plays. And no, that's not what she said. Get that out of your mind. We like to run up his gap on those plays because he just does so well moving bodies. Now we're going to go ahead with some misdirection on this play. Basman Hooker going left to right. Ryan Williams coming inside, right to left. Hopefully we can do some trickery. And Ryan Williams gets inside on a would-be tackler. And there's a man down for the Philadelphia Eagles. That will stop the clock. Unfortunately, the Eagles don't have to use one of their timeouts to stop the clock, so they stop it for free. With that being said, though, still nice for us to be able to get such a nice gain on first down. Ryan Williams, the misdirection worked on that play. Williams starting to get some nice yardage and progression now. And here we go. Clock stop. No reason to wait. Left side ISO. Williams behind the line, and he gets through. What a great set of blocks set up by the offensive line. The Philadelphia Eagles defense demoralized without a doubt on that one. Greg the Leg coming in at 3:59 left in the game to put up the PAT. He does. That makes it 21-6 Bills over Eagles. Now, this is still a 2-possession game. 15 points is certainly not an insurmountable lead at this point of the game. 4 minutes left, especially a team with deep threats like Percy Harvin, Mike Wallace, a quarterback like Russell Wilson who can find those targets. Definitely, I would say, a very far from over. But with that being said, as long as our defense can keep playing like it has, I'm confident that we will be able to come away from this game with a win. Just because, again, our offense has played very well today. Defense has played not spectacularly. This hasn't been their best game ever, but it's pretty close too. 6 points at this point of the game is pretty phenomenal. 3 takeaways, again, pretty phenomenal. We are sending some pressure on this one, so we don't have any safety help, but we should get some pressure. Russell Wilson tries to take off from the pressure. Brian McCann right there to take a sack. That could even be McCann's first sack as a Buffalo Bill. A guy who very rarely gets into the game, or at least last year did. This year has been our 4th option, has really struggled at times in coverage, but there shows off his tackling prowess, wrapping up the elusive Russell Wilson on the blitz, setting up 2nd and 15. What I love about this, too, is Russell Wilson has nobody in the backfield with him, probably won't for the balance of this drive, which means, and there's another play in the backfield. Vince Wilfork eats your lunch, ruins your life. He celebrates by doing whatever that thing was. Another sack. Russell Wilson, I was just about to say before that play got underway, Russell Wilson with nobody in the backfield. We know that he's not running the read option, which all things considered today, he never did. He's taken off a few times. I'm sure they've called a lot of read option plays, but he's handed almost them all off. This time, though, Russell Wilson trying to take off a couple times back-to-back. Nothing doing because the coverage has been so good. Here he stands in the pocket, and he just waits, eventually throws it away. Jason Hunter right there. And at 4th and 20, you got to think these Eagles, despite their desperation to score, need to put this ball into the air on the punt. And they're not. a very interesting decision. I am shocked, to be honest. We're going to go 3 deep, men up 3 deep. Just keep all of our safeties way back. Only send 3 guys. That's going to be Hunter. It's going to be Gibson. And it's going to be Wilfork on the D line. And they're going to the Armstrong, and he's out of bounds. Armstrong too close to the out of bounds marker. It looked like he brought it down. That almost looked exactly like the Deshaun Jackson play we challenged, and he is ruled out of bounds. And so we have the ball now on the 10-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles, and we are going to be able to run the ball, back-to-back plays, and get this game with a 2-minute warning. But after that, who knows? But the important thing is just going to be getting this clock down to the 2-minute mark. And after that, if we get a touchdown, great. If not, doesn't matter. We just need some points here to make it a 3-possession game, and that will more or less wrap this whole thing up. I also want to give credit right now to Ryan Williams. He hasn't been a huge part of today's game in terms of production, getting just about 4 yards a carry, which isn't bad. It's just not quite up to his usual standard. Gets lit up there, but he has yet to put the ball on the ground. I don't want to jinx him by saying that. Watch, it's going to happen now. But breaking his 2-game streak of 1 fumble per contest, that's a huge, huge, huge thing, and really, really phenomenal. Definitely, I'm feeling more comfortable with him as our lead back again. Williams, as has been well documented on this channel, came into this season as the from the 4th position on the depth chart last season, came in as kind of had the outside route, I would say, to the starting spot, but won it despite the fact that he had some really hot competition. Meanwhile, Basman Hooker goes up the middle, and he's going to score. Basman Hooker from 7 yards out uses his speed to get up the gut. He plays some electric guitar for us, smashes it on the ground, which is a terrible waste of an instrument. By the way, this is a completely unfootball-related soapbox, but I can't stand it when rock stars break their instruments on the stage after a show. It's like, first of all, show your instrument some respect. Second of all, if you don't want it or you don't need it, at least donate it to somebody or give it to somebody in the audience as a souvenir. Don't smash it. It's such a waste. Think about how many, kids and youth centers across the country and the planet and wherever else that could have been given, 10 free electric guitars by famous rock bands. We're just going to smash them anyways. Soapbox over. Like this game. Boom. 22 points up. The Buffalo Bills fans celebrating. We defend our home like there's nothing else. And we are about to advance to 6-1. The Philadelphia Eagles came in here with a 6-1 record. They're going to leave here 6-2. I think we can say that definitively now. Our defense has played so well today. They're going to get a chance to come out here and just cap off what's been a great performance. Again, if you count the turnover on downs that just happened as a turnover, 4 turnovers on the day. There, John Bostic misses Lunsford. Lunsford's going to have some room here. Drake Kirkpatrick heading back, and he misses, but Jamarcus Sanford makes the tackle. So Lunsford goes for a big gain on the screen pass there. Credit to the Eagles for not giving up. That's a 35-yard catch and run off the right side. John Bostic, the main culprit there, bit on the spin move from Lunsford, who, again, as we said earlier on this game, is a big man, not a ton of speed, but he does have some elusiveness. He does have some really nice acceleration, some nice agility. So credit to him. Kind of reminds me of Ronnie Brown in that way. Now, Ronnie Brown was a little smaller and a little faster. Not quite to the same extreme as Lunsford, but still reminds me of that kind of back, I would say. There's Shamarko Thomas gets picked up. Jason Hunter, the man back to make the play. The second straight screen pass to the right side. Second straight completion to Lunsford. This time we're going to watch on the screen pass. It's not a screen pass this time. Over the middle to Mike Wallace, who gets enveloped by Jason Hunter. Jason Hunter back in coverage for some reason. Not quite sure why. Jason Hunter definitely supposed to be rushing the quarterback on that play here. Rob Ninkovich, we're going to run him back into coverage because why the hell not? Meanwhile, Brian McCann elevates, knocks the ball away. Not able to make the pick. 3rd and 2 coming up here. The clock stops for the first time in a while because that ball goes incomplete. We're going to go sub and spinner. I like this play. Just send 7 guys. Get everybody up right up to the line and just... Oh, they're not letting me move them up to the line. Way to go, guys. Thanks. Chris Connie in at free safety. And they're going to complete it to Kellen Winslow, but he's quickly escorted out of bounds by Shamarko Thomas, a.k.a. the Sharknado. And with 1:13 left in the quarter, the Eagles still trying to score here, down 22 late in the game. This game really over if we're completely honest with the situation. However, the Eagles still giving it their best, and hey, we got to give them credit for that at the very least. Still doing their absolute best, trying to score here, and Davante Davis gets beaten there by Percy Harvin for the score. Percy Harvin with the catch in the corner of the end zone. That'll make the score 28-12. We'll see. And sure enough, the Eagles are intent on going for 2 here. So we're going to come out in the goal line man. And did they just call a timeout? Oh, it's a booth review of the touchdown, and it stands. So we'll go ahead. We'll do blitz A, sure. Why not? We're controlling Shamarko Thomas. Moaki, the tight end. Thomas shows, and there's a sack. John Bostic gets right through the middle on the blitz, lights up Russell Wilson, and 28-12. I guess there's a possibility we could see an onside kick from the Eagles, given that I guess it is technically still a 2-possession game. And sure enough, yeah, it's an onside kick. The Eagles with 3 timeouts. They're probably going to make us fight to the bitter end here. And that ball is picked up by Jeff Cumberland. We're just going to run it back with him. He's going to head out of bounds so we don't risk fumbling the football. And we should just be 3 straight runs away from ending this game as long as we get a first down. Not overly concerned even then, because even if we fail to get a first down and the Eagles come out and they make a few nice plays, score a touchdown, they still need to. At that point, they'll have no first downs. They'll have less than a minute to work with, and they'll still be down by a touchdown going for the onside kick. So Ryan Williams bounces around the edge this time. Nice play, getting around the end for 3 yards. Sure enough, a timeout is called by the Eagles. 28-12 the score. 1:01 left in the game. We're going to go strong here. We're going to go halfback off tackle. This is the same play we scored on earlier with Basman Hooker at the halfback spot. Safeties both pinching up, but they back right off, and Basman Hooker's going to have room to go around the outside. He trucks some man and gets over. My goodness. And that, by the way, that seals the game for us in that first down. But Basman Hooker, you can see there on that run, unbelievable. I hope they bring up, and no, they're not going to go ahead and bring up they're not going to show us a replay, but as you can see, just the power of that little man, and all things considered, a guy who at first glance looks like a scat back and kind of plays like it too until he puts his head down and steamrolls 4 guys like he just did. Just incredible ability on this kid. So excited for the fact that he's, first of all, ours, and then second of all, potentially could play on this team for the next 12 years. I mean, he's so young, so dynamic, so solid. We are going to go to the air here, folks, just because I feel like, why not? Let's do it. Basman Hooker with the catch, and he's going to go up the sidelines, hit for a nice gain. We're just going to run the ball here. I just wanted to get a little bit more of a gain. We weren't going to throw the ball if we were in danger of throwing a pick or taking a sack, because we do want to play things safely. But this will allow us to just run the ball once and then take a knee to end the game. Or if we want, we can have Greg the Leg kick a long field goal on the last play, which we'll probably do because why not? And sure enough, Ryan Williams with a nice carry. He gets up for a gain of 6. And with the game clock and the play clock now at essentially the same marker, we'll be able to kick a field goal to end this game. And the final score, all things considered, should be 31-12, which would be a huge victory for us. Allow us to get right back on top of that horse after falling off last week against the New England Patriots. It allows us to show our fans at home that we're still the same Super Bowl winning team that we were before. It allows us to continue separating ourselves from those in our division. Last week, with the Patriots winning, they moved to 3-3, so they were 2 games behind us. So now the rest of our division is going to have to win this week to try and stay that close. So here we go. We got 5, 4, 3, 2. The ball is back. Greg the Leg gets full power. It's up, and with the game expired, it is good. So 31-12 is the final score. Greg the Leg celebrates his win. Nobody else wants to celebrate his kick with him, so he runs back to the sideline. But with that said, Chip Kelly, who's abnormally fat in this game. It's weird. Normally Chip Kelly's not thin in real life, but he's not that big. And in a game where they made a lot of the coaches too thin, they kind of gave Chip Kelly the raw side of the deal. Aaron Rodgers, not a huge game, just 181 yards, but he gets a touchdown, no picks. I think this is the fourth straight game in which Aaron Rodgers hasn't thrown a pick. No, he threw 2 against New York, so this is his 3rd game in a row without a pick. And we'll take a look at the stats for you. Run them down. Team stats. Things are favoring us quite heavily here. 31-12 to score. Total offense 267-219 for the Bills. Rushing yards 86-44 in favor of the Bills. Passing yards 181-175, again in favor of Buffalo. First downs 13-9. Punt return yards, the Eagles actually led this category 13-0. Kick return yards, Eagles lost this one though 56-47. Total yards 323-279 in favor of Buffalo. Turnovers, we led that battle 3-1. The Darren Sproles fumble, our lone turnover on the game. Third down conversions, we were 8 of 9. They were 3 of 7. Fourth down conversions, we were 0 for 0, didn't attempt one, and the Eagles were 0 for 1. 2-point conversion, same thing, none for us, 0 for 1 for Philadelphia. Red zone percentage, we were a perfect 4 for 4 for 4 touchdowns. It was a beautiful thing. Eagles, meanwhile, were 2 for 3, 1 touchdown, 1 field goal. Time of possession, 12:58 for the Buffalo Bills, 11:02 for the Eagles. Player stats, again, not a flashy game for Aaron Rodgers, but still solid. 17 for 25, 181, 1 touchdown, no picks. 68% of his passes were completed. Russell Wilson, meanwhile, 12 of 19, 185, 1 touchdown, but 2 picks that turned out to be really costly in this one. Ryan Williams, 13 carries for 51 yards, just an average of 3.9 yards per carry, but he did have a touchdown. The most importantly, Ryan Williams, 0 fumbles on today's game. Rashawn Lunsford, meanwhile, 12 carries, 44 yards, 3.6 yards per carry. Basman Hooker, 4 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 2 for 6 and a touchdown. Darren Sproles, 1 for nothing and a fumble in his return from his injury. But hey, we're still happy to have Darren back. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to our training staff for getting him healthy again. Aurelius Ben, was the leading receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. 4 catches for 84 yards for him. For the Buffalo Bills, we had 4 players with 3 catches. Deshaun Jackson, 3 for 43. Eric Baldwin, 3 for 37. Doug Baldwin, 3 for 32. And Ryan Williams, 3 for 10. The player who caught our touchdown pass was Mario Manningham, who had just 1 catch for 8 yards. Percy Harvin caught the touchdown pass for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I just want to go ahead and point out here that Mike Wallace had just 1 catch in this game. Percy Harvin had 2. Those 3 catches went for a grand total of 15 yards. So when you talk about our defense stepping it up, bada bing, bada boom, they really did today. Louis Delmas led the game with 5 tackles. The leading tackler for the Buffalo Bills was John Bostic with 4. He had a tackle for a loss. And meanwhile, Vince Wilfork and Brian McCann each chipped in sacks. Our interceptions were, as usual, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie with 1, Vontae Davis with the other, and what was a great game for both of them. Sean Swisham was 2 for 2 on his field goals. Greg the Leg, 1 for 1. Sam Martin had 1 punt for 45 yards. Kick returns, Percy Harvin had 1 for 24. Eric Weems had 1 for 23. Jacoby Ford, 3 for a combined 63 yards, good for an average of 21. And Jeff Carmelin, 1 for -7 on that onside kick, though that's what we wanted him to do. Percy Harvin had 1 for 13 in punt returns, and nobody else returned a punt. That's it. So thanks for joining us, folks, today for episode number 74. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, this happy Thursday. And until tomorrow, for Friday, episode number 75, I'm Tuxedo T-shirt. We are 6-1, and I am out.